I'm Jeff Matlow. Welcome to the best leadership podcast ever. Welcome to the pod. Great to have you here. Welcome back if you were here before. Are you the one that stole my silverware? Somebody stole my silverware. If it's you, I promise I won't turn you in. Just bring it back. You could leave it at the door. That's fine by me. Do you guys believe in aliens? I'm not going to say I do, but I'm not going to say I don't. Here's the thing that I realized. Conspiracy theories are only conspiracy theories until you discover they're true. Are you a conspiracy theorist? I'm not going to say I'm a conspiracy theorist. I mean, I like a good conspiracy theory, but I'm not going to just go right down the rabbit hole believing it all. However, they do make me think. For instance, I'm not saying a plane didn't hit the Pentagon on 9/11, but I'm just asking why there's no clear footage of a plane approaching what must be one of the most surveilled buildings on Earth that morning. And listen, I'm not saying that an advanced civilization existed on Earth before us, but I am asking how ancient civilizations built structures we still struggle to replicate today. What gets me thinking even more about these is QAnon, because we made fun of QAnon just a few years back. It seemed absurd to the majority of us that there was a cabal of elites locked in a pedophilia ring. It was a conspiracy theory until it was true. So maybe it's time you and I talk about those things that you're convinced are right. Because what if you're not right? What if you are the conspiracy theorist? Skepticism is good. We teach our kids to be skeptical. We want them to question things. I always teach my kid to ask why. After all, it's the basis for learning critical thinking. I'm convinced that the most important trait of the most important minds throughout history has been their desire to question everything, including their own beliefs. I work with a lot of leaders, and I can say with pretty much confidence that most leaders like to question things. In fact, a lot of them pride themselves on their ability to question. They'll question industry assumptions, they'll question expert opinions, they'll even question their employees' ideas, for better or worse. But there's one thing many leaders won't question: themselves. They don't wonder whether their leadership style is a problem, and they don't explore how their experience may blind them more than it gives them clarity. As it so happens, the conspiracy theorist does the exact same thing. See, the conspiracy theorist is certain of their beliefs, and that's the problem. The challenge is not that they question things. The challenge is that they are so certain of their beliefs, they stop questioning. And you do the same. You think asking questions is good. You tell yourself that you're curious. Curiosity is what makes you a good leader. At least that's what you read in those books you skimmed. Reality, though, is different. Because you'll question anything as long as it threatens your point of view. But you'll protect anything that reinforces your self-image. Don't believe me? Think of these three things. If you believe you're the kind of leader who empowers people, I bet you don't question whether you're actually micromanaging. And if you believe you're the type of person who trusts their instincts, I bet you won't question why your instincts do you wrong. And if you rely on your experience for decisions, I bet you won't question whether your experience is actually a limitation. And that makes me think of my coaching client, who I shan't mention by name, and you'll know why in a second. Last year, I was working with a company, and the VP developed what he thought was a brilliant strategy to launch their new product. 6 months later, the launch didn't succeed. They had a group debrief, and in that debrief, the VP blamed the market because market conditions had changed. He blamed the team because they didn't execute the way he thought they should. And he blamed the timeline because the strategy would have worked if they had just a little more runway. The only thing the VP didn't blame in that meeting was the strategy itself. Because he had spent 3 months developing that darn strategy. Questioning the strategy meant questioning his judgment, which meant questioning his identity as someone who is a savvy leader. So he stopped questioning right there at the edge of identity. Leaders don't call me when things are going great. They call me when there are complex problems that need an easy solution. They tell me that their team isn't aligned, or accountability is non-existent, or toxic people are contaminating the culture. They want me to fix it. No problem. It's what I do. What they don't realize is that their explanations alone tell me almost all I need to know. They've questioned everything they can, every potential scenario that could have caused the issues, except for the one thing that is probably the actual cause: themselves. Questioning the culture means questioning their value, so that's where they stop questioning. In a previous episode, I talked about how the algorithm doesn't show you the news. It shows you the news that you want to see. It doesn't tell you the truth. It tells you the truth that you want to hear. And your brain does the same exact thing. You're going to remember the wins that validate your business prowess, but you'll forget the losses that question it. Consciously or not, you're always looking for evidence to confirm what you already believe, and you'll dismiss the evidence that contradicts it. You know this, it's confirmation bias. As it turns out, conspiracy theorists do it with theories. You do the same thing with your beliefs. Same mechanism, different conclusions. You're both convinced you're right. You think you're being rational. You think you're following the evidence. You think you're asking the hard questions. You are, just not about yourself. Your beliefs are conspiracy theories you've convinced yourself are facts. The only difference is that you can't see the conspiracy you created. So here's what I want you to do. Think about the beliefs you've never questioned: your leadership philosophy, your understanding of your team, your assessment of what's working, whatever it is. Now ask yourself one simple question. What if I'm wrong? And once you think through that one and come up with some sort of answer, then ask yourself the harder question. What am I protecting by not questioning myself? See, the conspiracy theorist won't ask those questions. And that's why I know you're not a conspiracy theorist, right? Right? Remember, the questions you won't ask are usually the ones you most need to answer. So ask them. And if you want to dive deeper in the rabbit hole to understand your patterns, sign up for the free Leadership Diagnostic Workshop. The link is in the show notes, or you can find it on my website, thebestleadershipcompany.com. As always, thanks for coming by. If you want to reach out to me, hello@thebestleadershipcompany.com. Can't wait to talk to you next time. Bye.